Since the middle of the 1980s, the word ecology has increasingly become a part of our everyday vocabulary, and ecologists are no longer the agitators who chained themselves to trees and clashed with the police. The concern to know and conserve nature has become something as normal as taking a walk in the countryside. And that is what attracts thousands of people to the El Acebuche Visitor Center in Doñana Park. In the course of their visit, they can contemplate endless virgin beaches and can see thousands of birds in the wetlands. But above all, visitors to Doñana discover how the mechanisms work to produce the greatest spectacle in the world, nature. In Doñana, one of the great beneficiaries of this unstoppable tide of interest in ecology is the Iberian lynx. The explanations that visitors to the park receive help them to understand the difficulties experienced by our largest feline. Obviously, those in charge of the park are aware that too many visitors or allowing them to move around freely would not be positive for the environment, and so the routes are properly fenced off so that human activity does not leave a mark. People have changed their shotguns for binoculars and are learning to make the conservation of nature areas profitable. In 2010, when the reintroduction into the wild of the lynxes born in captivity begins, it will not be enough to simply ensure that the Mediterranean forests are ready to receive them again. It will be necessary for people to be aware of how fragile the balance is that permits life on our planet and how easy it is to destroy it. Only in that way will we know how to appreciate the importance of the work of the scientists at the El Acebuche Center. These are the best examples of the efficacy of the program for the breeding of Iberian lynxes in captivity. 64 days after the first copulation between Garfio and Saliega, Brezo, Brisa, and Brecina were born. The theories established by specialists in lynxes all around the world had been successfully translated into practice.
We have been in close contact with people who breed Eurasian lynxes and also Canadian lynxes and bobcats, and above all, the experiences of the Jerez Zoo in looking after Iberian lynx cubs taken from the wild. And we're also learning a lot as we go along, because the Iberian lynx is a unique animal, and there are also things that are unique in this species, and we have learned many things from the litters that were born in 2005 and those born in 2006.
The birth of 3 Iberian lynxes in captivity was very important news throughout the scientific community and a decisive first step towards the recovery of the species. Probably, the first effort the scientists at El Acebuche had to make was to stop staring slack-jawed. But once they had overcome that awe at being able to observe these impressive creatures, a double task began. On the one hand, the study of the behavior of the newborn cubs, because until then, there had never been an opportunity to directly observe the growth and development of a litter. And on the other hand, to take care of these real treasures whose optimum development could be key to saving the entire species. Everything was going just the way the scientists at El Acebuche wanted, until on the night of the 11th of May 2005, something terrible happened. In nature, it had been observed that some cubs died before the age of 8 weeks, but the reasons were unknown. It was believed that it could be due to a lack of food, accidents, or because the mother rejected the weakest one in the litter. But that night, what appeared to be the normal play of 2 cubs ended in a fight in which Brezo, the male, killed his sister Brezina. It all took place so quickly that not even the mother Saliega was able to separate them in time. Apparently, weaning coincides with a period in which they start to become territorial, and this gives rise to episodes of extreme aggressiveness. No one could have imagined that 2 such beautiful and apparently defenseless cubs could have behaved that way, though sometimes it is all too easy to forget that these are wild felines. But life must go on, and in the case of the Iberian lynx, there is no time for lamentation. Until the risk of extinction of the species has disappeared, each Iberian lynx is a treasure that must be kept alive at all costs.